はようございます。少し考えて5つぐらいの理由で英語で話します。ただしゆっくりやります。付き合ってください。Distinguished guests and dear colleagues from many parts of the world. Good morning. It is my pleasure to make on behalf of the university's Organization for the Promotion of International Relations, and also as a historian, a belated welcome speech on the morning of the second day of this symposium, which aims to discuss various analyses of the representations of racial images. Let me attempt to waken us up by reading a quote from a rather misanthropic early 18th century English imaginary travel book. I quote, "It is necessary for travelers who describe the same country, even very often to agree in dwelling on the same particulars without deserving the censure of having borrowed or transcribed from those who wrote before them." Likewise, in the late 20th century, I heard from a media producer about how to hold a public exhibition successfully. He said this way, I quote, "It is a rule of our trade to reserve at least the 30% of the total space of any exhibition to accommodate anything, whatever, which is familiar to the would-be visitors." These two quotations are, I think, related to the topic of this symposium. To make human minds as free as possible from the conventional modes of perceiving others, that is, perceiving in terms of sweeping ideas and images of a group, particularly race, ethnicity, nationality, and gender. This has been one of the major concerns of modern academia, but so far not quite successfully achieved when viewed in terms of broader social and historical perspectives. Among various elements contributing to the persistence of such modes of representation, there are two with which I have been particularly concerned. One is human memories, and the other is a sense of closeness or remoteness that prevails between individuals or groups of people. Memories are often not confined to individual minds, but permeates through varieties of media, whether traditional or high-tech, across generations and local boundaries. I can almost say that memories have eternal lives, so far as human beings survive. The second element is the sense of closeness or remoteness between two parties, which changes in accordance with changes in their social relationship. In addition to these two elements, the fact that matters more than each of these elements individually is the relationship between them. A sense of remoteness often encourages the revival of a certain limited range of memories from among whole, dormant, rich stock. And the memories thus revived tend to encourage us to rely only on those simple and often negative ideas about others, as if to save energy and space for one's mental activities. The issue of perceiving and representing others is indeed a topic that demands every thinking mind to observe and contemplate in his or her daily life as a lifelong concern. Like looking after a garden, once a basic form is constructed, it requires eternal care, watering, fertilizing, trimming, replanting, sheltering, and so on. And one can never say that the garden has become complete on a certain day. In this symposium, specialists in cutting-edge medicine are also participating. With their rich knowledge of how to differentiate human groups by means of new technologies, how to deal with this new phase in the history of science and technology is also a question open to today's participants. Specialists may show the data obtained by a certain technological processes with, of course, certain biases, and carefully give their explanations if they are kind. But the specialists can't decide by themselves the degree of significance. Discussions, as well as careful dialogues between specialists and non-specialists, are essential. I could call such a dialogue a new cooperative process for civilizing the ever-powerful forces of science and technology. It is a process which is just beginning. It may be pertinent to mention here that at the beginning of this century, Kyoto University promulgated a mission statement which declared a new ideal. I quote, "To pursue harmonious coexistence within human and ecological community on this planet," unquote. The drafting committee emphasized that this community should include non-humans, ranging from animals and plants to rocks and streams. This statement may sound too brave. If we take into account, however, that humankind finds itself today at a critical stage of its history when conventional notions of nature and humanity are under serious review, it is perhaps natural that our university should aspire to such an idea with its rich tradition of pioneering field sciences. From the point of view of such a mission statement, the cultivation of open-mindedness towards the diversity and commonality of human cultures is one of the steps in our long way to go. I would therefore like to conclude my speech by expressing my best wishes and high expectations for the in-depth dialogues which will go on during the long remainder of this symposium. Thank you for your attention.